Right now, we have a very illiquid system between July 31st and August 15th, which is what I profiled for clients. It's very illiquid, which means we're going to chop all over the place. It's not a trend. It's not a time to position in the market higher or lower, big picture, because we're going to chop all over the place. But this is another thing that could interrupt the growth rotation. Consumer price index. Right now, everyone is still very excited about the falling rate of change in CPI. But this is what it looks big picture. You got CPI that is definitely since its peak, which is how Wall Street measures consumer price index. And by the way, 30% of its components are estimated. So it's not like BLS, which is actually in the field job reports from small, medium, and large companies. So this is an estimate with 33%. So we're kind of like, oh, no, we know those numbers can be fibbed. But the point is, this is starting to rise up. The big reason I saw that CPI would be falling and it would also be supportive for markets is because shelter makes up a huge component of the weighting of the CPI metric. And since everybody looks at CPI and says, oh, we're in the twos, we're fine, there's no inflation, Fed should cut. They're not looking at inflation, the compounding inflation that we have for real. They're just looking at the CPI rate of change, which is what this is. And it's starting to rise up. So this is another one that could absolutely interrupt the bullish momentum and introduce a growth scare. Yes, we always have employment and real earnings, and producer price index is pretty much rising. We know prices are going up. That's part of that inflationary impulse from tariffs. And by the way, they are going up and they are inflationary. So the government coffers are going to make more money and the rest of America is not. It's a regressive tax. So anyway, we do have a little bit this week just to kind of put it on your radar. If you're looking for more shake and bake, we definitely have lots of it. But I would say for the most part, the biggest threat that we have right now is the health of the employment market. And even if AI contributed, I've heard 0.7% of GDP all the way to 6% of GDP growth. I've heard that AI has contributed that positive impact to growth. But consumer spending is still 70% of GDP. So what happens in employment is going to affect the growth trajectory.
Join Samantha and Hans at the next Macro to Micro Options Power Hour, held each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration is free. Scan this QR code or click on the link in the description.